Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur ADIB KAMILIA binti KAMARUDDIN from J4EC1104B1. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you about PPE or Personal Protection Equipment. Okay, this is the contents of the slides. First, we have introduction. Second, 10 types of PPE or Personal Protection Equipment. Third is hazard environment. Fourth is conclusion. Now we will go to the introduction to PPE. Okay, what is PPE? Personal Protective Equipment (PPE) refers to all equipment that is worn by an individual in order to provide protection against one or more health or safety risks whilst at work. PPE is equipment worn to minimize exposure to hazards that cause serious workplace injuries and illnesses. These injuries and illnesses may result from contact with chemical, radiological, physical, electrical, mechanical, or other workplace hazards. Personal protective equipment may include items such as gloves, safety glasses, and shoes, earplugs or muffs, hard hats, respirators or coveralls, vests, and full body suits. It is also required that the worker were to be taught how to use PPE or Personal Protective Equipment. Next, we're going to take a look at the types of PPE. Okay, first we have head protection. One of the example for the head protection is the safety helmets. Safety helmets will protect the user's head against the impact from objects falling from above by resisting the deflecting blows to the head. It prevents fatal injuries and even death to the skateholders in the construction site. There are various types of safety helmets and its color which differentiate the level of skateholder on site. Second is foot protection. One of the examples for the foot protection is the safety shoes. Safety toe shoes or boots protect against falling, crushing, or rolling hazards. Toe guards fit over the toes of regular shoes to protect the toes from impact and compression hazards. They may be made of steel, aluminum, or plastic. It is hard enough so that any heavy things that falls onto the foot will not injure the toes. The shoes need to have slip-resistant sole to minimize the risks of slips and falls. That is one of the hazards that may happen to the construction site. Okay, third, we're gonna take a look at the hand protection. Gloves is one of the hand protection. Glove prevents and protects the hand of the workers as they usually exposed to hazardous materials. There are many types of gloves for various different purposes. Hands are always at risk of hazards such as cuts, burns, fractures, and exposure to chemical reaction. Because there are many types of gloves, we need to make sure the gloves that we wear were fit and suitable for the works. Okay, next we're gonna take a look at the ear protection. One of the example of there are two example of the ear protection is ear muff and ear plug. This will give hearing protection to the workers. It is to prevent the workers exposed to loud noises, either made by machinery or construction vehicles, which will be resulting in loss of hearing. Formable earplugs are recommended to ensure perfect fit. Okay, next, eye and face protection. For eye protection, we have the glasses or goggles. For the face protection, we have the face shield. This will provide protection in case of exposure to small materials such as minerals from aggregates, dust, and chemical. Safety glasses have safety frames constructed of metal or plastic and impact-resistant lens. Risk from impact hazards such as flying fragments, objects, large ships, and particles. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the body protection. This is a highly important PPE or personal protective equipment when working on the construction site. The purpose of safety vests is to allow the wearer to be seen and to alert all that a person is present, especially in a low visibility situation. A safety vest is constructed out of reflective material and typically come in a slew of bright colors. Body, body protection or a safety vest need to be cleaned regularly to ensure it remains visible. It may be dirtied by the mud or cement that comes from the construction site. Next, we have the respiratory protection. Respiratory protection to protect the individual wearer against the inhalation of hazardous substances in workplace air, such as inhalation of dust, for example, nuisance and hazardous dust, gases, and inhalation of vapors and mist. There are many different kinds of RPE, respiratory protection equipment, so make sure you have the correct gear for the job. Any filter need to be changed frequently to avoid the gear from malfunctioning. And if respirator is malfunctioning, we need to prevent from using it anymore. Next, we're going to take a look at the skin protection. Skin protection, it covers or replaces personal clothing and to protect the wearer from chemical, mechanical, biological, and electrical hazards. Protective clothing must be suitable for the hazard. We also must make sure that the clothing were impermeable to avoid the skin from burn. Next, we have the fall protection. Tasks performed at head to protect them accidentally fall and reduce the risk of falling. All the components must be inspected before using. Ensure the buckles and straps are free from damage. It is vital that the individual is suitable, trained, and instructed. If they are not, then a fatal or very serious accident could occur. One of the examples for fall protection is the safety harness. Next, we're going to take a look at the proximity sensors. This device is generally intended to signal a user's proximity to a dangerous object, but product developers have upgraded it to assist employees in adhering to the 6-foot separation rules or 1 meter separation rules. This is also a way to keep track of COVID-19 exposure in the workplace. This is the third part of the slide, which is hazard environments at construction site. For the first hazard, we have falling from high elevation. Falling from high elevation is one of the physical hazards that caused by improper PPE or equipment or such as ladder. The effect of falling from high elevation will be injury to the human skeletons, death. It's also most likely to occur. Solutions, scaffolds, or ladders meet the safety standards. Proper training to the worker to work at high place. PPE requirement to prevent the hazard is safety helmet to prevent head injury, safety harness to prevent from falling, safety gloves to protect the hands from the rough rope. For the second hazard, we have slips and trips that caused by not wearing proper footwear. It may affect injury to the lower part of body or concussion, most likely to occur, and the solution is PPE required to prevent from the hazard to occur. Safety boot, slip-resistant sole to minimize the risk of slips and falls. Safety helmet to minimize the impact of the head. The last hazard is exposure to chemical caused by exposure to toxic airborne material that may affect respiration to chemical spills that can release toxic fumes or burn. The effect is lung-related disease, shortness of breath, cancer, and burn skin. The solution is the PPE required, safety goggles, protection to the eyes, respirator, protect from inhaling the toxic fumes, protective clothing, protects the whole body from chemical substance and burn. Last but not least, we have the conclusion. Accidents are extremely prominent in construction industry. PPE is equipment that protect workers against health or safety risks on the job and reduce employees' exposure to hazard. This actively reduce accidents, improve the health of your employees, and make a safer, secure work environment. That's all for me. Thank you.